Okay, so this is going to be a quick video on how do you make equivalent fractions that have a denominator of 10 or 100. So let's start with something like 3 tenths. Now if I was going to draw a model and it had tenths, I might do something like this. And if I was representing 3 tenths, I would shade in 3 out of those 10. But now, what if I needed to make an equivalent fraction that had a denominator of 100? So basically that's saying, what if I took my model and it originally had 10 parts, but now I'm going to make it have 100 tiny little parts. Now that's going to be a big difference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's going to have a huge difference in the amount of parts that I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I only have 50 right now. I need to cut these even more. Remember, the larger the denominator, the smaller the parts actually get. That's super crooked, but you know what I mean. Okay, so I started with 3 tenths. But if I look at my red shaded amount, what used to be 1 tenth now has 10 parts inside. So this one has 10, this one has 10, and this one has 10. But my total denominator was 100. If I take all those 10, 10, 20, 30, I now have 30 hundredths. But it's the exact same thing as 3 tenths. They are equal to each other. Now, not everyone wants to sit and draw models because this would take all day. So there is a shortcut. Now, I know you know this. We've done this before. If you do it to the bottom, that's right, you do it to the top. So if I was going to make 10 become 100, now remember with fractions, we can only use multiplication or division. If I was going to make 10 become 100, I would times it by 10. But if I do it to the bottom, I also do it to the top. And so my new numerator, 3 times 10, is 30 hundredths. And like the model showed, 3 tenths and 30 hundredths are the exact same thing. So let's try another one. Let's say that I had 7 tenths, and I do not feel like drawing a really super complicated model with 100 parts on it and shading all that in, because, I mean, you could, but that would take a really, really long time. So I don't want to do that. I want to use my shortcuts of multiplication and division and just come up with what would be the equivalent fraction. So if I go from my 10 to become 100, I will times it by 10. And if I do it to the bottom, I also do it to the top. And my new numerator, oops, will be 70. So 7 tenths is equivalent to 70 hundredths. Try this one by yourself. We'll give you a moment to try. You probably do it in your head, but I'll wait about 10 seconds, give you a chance to try it and think on your own. All right, hopefully you came up with 80 hundredths. All right, what if I was going the other direction? What if I said, okay, I have 90 hundredths, but I want to know how many tenths is that? Well, we would use the exact same process. Remember, when we're talking about equivalent fractions, we can only use multiplication or division. So if I was going to make 100 become 10, this time I am not multiplying, I am dividing. And we know every time you eliminate a 0, you're dividing by 10. And if I do it to the bottom, that's right, I do it to the top. So 90 divided by 10 give me 9 tenths. So let's you try some on your own. Let's say we had 20 hundredths. We wanted to make that become tenths. Give you about 10 seconds to try this on your own. Hopefully, you notice that 100, if you divide it by 10, you will get 10. And if you do it to the bottom, you do it to the top. That's right. And 20 divided by 10 will give me, the world's ugliest 2, but it will give me 2. Let me make an erase that. Erase that a little bit. That was an ugly 2. Let's try that again. Make a nice, pretty 2. All right, so why don't we try a few? Try this on your own. Let's make this become hundredths. And let's make this get an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 10. Go ahead and pause the video. Try this on a piece of paper. All right. Hopefully you pause it, give yourself a chance to try it. So on this one, I know that 10 times 10 gives me 100. And if I do it to the bottom, I do it to the top. And my new numerator should be 30. For the second one, this time I'm dividing by 10. And if you do it to the bottom, you do it to the top. Shortcut, I know that dividing by 10 means get rid of a 0. So I'm going to get rid of a 0. I'm actually left with the answer 4 tenths. And there you have it. Check your schoolwork for some additional practice.